Greetings, comrades, and welcome to the Rad Gaming Podcast. I'm Jemshi.
And I'm Pescador. And in this episode of the podcast, we interview Prestige, an esports manager and agent, and the founder and CEO of Elusive Agency.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by the Rad community. The Rad community is an extremely supportive gaming and streaming community that firmly believes in support for support, not follow for follow. And now, it's time to level up with Prestige.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rad Gaming Podcast, your great spot for all your streaming needs, gaming, and even esports. Starring your hosts, the one and only Pescador and Jemshi.
But can you give us a background story of yourself?
All right. Okay. Long story short, basically, I've been in esports, or let's say the community, since 2014. I started off a mobile game called Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's dying right now, but that's the game I started off, and I started off as a competitive player in small pro leagues, not very big, let's say maximum $10,000 brackets or something. It wasn't too big.
Oh, not very big, just $10,000.
No. But, I'm not, getting $1 million. So I started off doing that, and then I started off my YouTube channel with that as well, and in 2014, and I uploaded my first video, and I checked back onto it in 2016, and it had 400,000 views. So then I was like, all right, there's something going on here. So I was doing all my research, checking if someone view-botted me and doing all that stuff. Started uploading, gaining subscribers, gaining a following. And then I just got demotivated from that. So I didn't want to do YouTube. And then I just got into more the business side and managing. And I've been doing that for, let's say, 2 years, a year and a half now.
I gotcha. Okay. But what do you contribute to your demotivation of going from YouTube? I mean, you said it yourself. You kind of came back and you had a ton of followers and viewers. And that's an accomplishment in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, once I came back, I had 2,000 subscribers. Let's say, I think it was September 2016. By end of October, I had 93,000.
Wow.
I just uploaded daily. And after that, it hit Christmas. I stopped for the holidays. January, I didn't want to upload videos. The money was there. I could have done this for a living, but I just stopped it. I was like, I'm not doing it. And I don't know what happened.
Or I guess the passion wasn't there anymore, right?
Yeah, but I'm still into gaming, but I'm more into the business side of things now. So I'm currently studying in college a business program. So
nice.
That's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Gotcha. So your passion for business, where does that come from?
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
I graduated high school, and my parents were like, so what are you going to do with your life? And I'm like, I don't know. I might as well just try something within esports, and I know it's a growing industry right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's kind of new, and I feel like it's still unstable. It's not a stable industry, but it's growing super fast in a way.
Yeah.
Because in the gaming industry, there's not much titles and stuff. As a manager, you have so much hats to wear, you have so much responsibilities. And in a normal industry, if you were a manager, you just had certain things to do. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like my parents were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, fine, I'm just do business and learn how to run an org or an agency like I'm doing now and things like that. So that's pretty much it.
Did you have any kind of a business experience beforehand, or was that just kind of something you looked into and just said, hey, I'm doing it?
I just looked into it. I've never had a real job in my entire life. I made all my money off of gaming and YouTube. So I just decided I've never worked at any grocery store or anything like that. So yeah, it just came out just I don't know, it's just interest, I guess.
So you say you work with esports. You really like that aspect. I saw that you're the founder and CEO of Elusive Agency.
Yeah.
How did that come about? What did you do to get yourself to that point?
So while I was doing YouTube, you get sponsorship deals and brand deals and stuff like that. So I was approached by a Hong Kong streaming platform about a month and a half ago, and I've always wanted to run my own business. So they approached me and said, we want to work with you. And I said, all right, I'm going to start a business, get this thing registered and stuff, just to try to make it more professional. So I've then hired clients to work with, which are YouTubers from Australia. And the reason why they're from Australia is because this Chinese platform approached me saying they wanted to enter into the Australian market for streaming. They're like another platform for Twitch.
Yeah.
And they approached me and said, we give 12 months contracts to your clients. And then I said, sure, why not? And that's what I'm doing with it now. So I'm just building my reputation and getting some clients, and I have a few. So hopefully it'll just go from there.
Do you have a few big name streamers that anyone of us would know? Or
Sounds Like Pizza. He has over 750,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow. So you're not talking about like these. I mean, I'm sure you have some small ones, but I mean, you do have some pretty big.
I mean,
clients.
Depending how small, my smallest right now is I have 14 clients. I don't want to go too much over that. I just want to build a relationship with them.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Right now, I have 14, and the lowest I have is 300,000, and the highest I have is 1.3 million.
Are you? Wow.
Wow. Man. So kind of go into what you do with your client. Like, what service do you provide?
So I do management services. Like, I oversee their profiles to make sure they're always professional, always keeping up to date with their fans, always engaging. I have a personal designer that can either bring them a unique logo, make merchandise for them, bring more income, stuff like that. I also have a friend that's good with marketing campaigns that can help me out, get more audience, impressions, grow their brand personally, and manage the business side and brand deals and how they should, go about with brand deals and making them financially stable with brand deals as well, because, brands offer a lot of money and sometimes they don't think about what's the consequences if someone offers you $50,000. Hey, it's great, but you have to do some research about the company, see what they're doing. So I just double check for them what they're doing and, just things like that for now.
So basically making sure that you don't, go into some kind of fishy situation, as in like some companies just started saying they're going to offer you $50,000 and they've only been a company for like 1 month and you're like their first client.
Yeah, like along those lines. And with the Rice Gum situation and all the other YouTubers,
right?
They did, they got whatever he said, 250,000, and now he's getting a lot of backlash for it. So,
right, like that. You don't want your reputation to be the one that takes the hit. Yeah. So who do you look for in these clients because you've got a couple big names. So like, what are you looking for?
I look for people who have potential for sure. People that I would watch in my free time, that I would love to work with and see, how they make their videos and how they're different from other people. And I just mostly people with potential. And in my free time, I do respond to messages and try to help out smaller creators. And I've seen a few people in my messages that I really want to help out, and they have, let's say, 400 subscribers, 500, and I'm willing to maybe in the future, once I'm stable with all my other bigger ones, then I can branch off into smaller ones and help out the community a little bit more.
So if you go through these streamers, what is your pet peeve? Like, what don't you like what streamers do? Is there something specific that you look for, as in, do you like when people, obviously they engage in chat, but is there something that really drives you nuts that you don't want to see the streamers that you are going to choose, you don't want them to do?
That was a hard question, but probably putting a lot of like promoting different type of just garbage, just using my discount code. Like, we get it, you have a discount code, I don't want to hear it, I'm sorry. Yeah. But sometimes I know you want to get money and stuff and it's good, but like once in a while is fine. But people who just go, in Fortnite, use my code, I got you.
Right, they're just over the top with the advertisements.
Yeah, and the self-promotion,
like you're
too.
already making enough money from, stuff like that.
I gotcha.
And, I mean, I can't really say self-promotion because I've done that in the past.
Haven't we all, though? I mean, that's...
Yeah, everyone has done it, but, once you get big, you're like, oh, self-promoters are, just... Everyone has done it. I've done it myself. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much, but it's whatever.
Right. Everything at a portion or good amounts, right? You don't want to over the top on anything. Like, you got to promote yourself in some way, or else you'll never get anywhere. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So with you managing these esports teams, did you partake in any other? I know you said like Clash of Clans. Is that what you said?
Clash Royale, yeah.
Oh, Clash Royale. Excuse me.
All good.
Sorry about that. But did you partake in any other, esports related games?
No, I haven't. But I've watched a ton of Call of Duty. I've watched Fortnite, Dota 2, League of Legends, stuff like that. I watch almost all game titles. I just haven't. I don't play in most of them. I just like watching, I guess. I don't know, the competitiveness, the adrenaline you get from watching big tournaments. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense. And who's your go-to team? Who's the team that you watch for certain games?
Oh, I don't want to say this because if I say a team, then I've been offered from other teams that, okay, my go-to competitive-wise, either Cloud9 or Liquid.
Yeah, Cloud9.
Audience-wise, definitely FaZe. And then like the smaller teams that are not like Cloud9 type things is probably either Gankstars, which is from mobile, and they've gone into Fortnite scene now, which they're rapidly growing, as well as I don't know if you guys know Misfits.
Actually, I'm not familiar with them actually.
No, Misfits. They're a little lower tier. They're gonna go up there hopefully with FaZe, but right now it's Liquid, Cloud9 competitive, and then FaZe as audience and content creation.
Right. So can you kind of go into how you got into Clash Royale, kind of that scene? Because it seems like, how did you start? Like, how did you know that you were on that competitive level?
So it started off with Clash of Clans with the friends. They were all better than me. And then there was one summer I sat down, because once you've been on the screen in Clash of Clans for over 12 hours, they kick you off. And every day I would get kicked off. The whole summer, wow. I would just play that game, and then I beat my friends in that game, and then Clash Royale was introduced by the same developers, and then my friends got me into that right away early, and I don't know, it was just something I got used to, and I played against friends, and then I've moved myself up, and I played this guy, I forgot his name. Oh, his name was Blaze or something. And he was like top 200 in North America, and I just sweeped him 3-0. And then I was just like, all right, I think I got something here. But then I got into the esports and the gaming and the competitiveness of it, but there's not much more I could have done what I did. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do my own thing now.
So with that competitive nature, I honestly don't know how you compose yourself. Like it would be tough for me to compete at that high of a level and then lose, like get destroyed, get swept by someone like you said, like 3-0. I would probably rage. How do you compose yourself? Like how do you keep from freaking out?
I don't freak. I do freak out. What the start of my career, man? Like it was not career, but let's say the start of it. It was just winning. Towards the end, I lost everything. Oh, you don't understand. Every game, just I don't know how to compose myself. Like I would just flip off everyone. I would not talk to my parents the whole day.
You would Stone Cold Steve Austin everyone in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any videos of you freaking out? Because I'd love to see it.
Oh no, I don't.
Dang it. Oh man, that's the next step. You gotta compete at another level again, and then just get a giant YouTube montage of you just freaking out, stone colding everyone. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, I would say that gave me some anger issues at sometimes, man. It was bad.
I can imagine. What games do you really enjoy playing, though?
I don't play any games right now.
What? You don't? You just started.
I don't play any games. I Clash Royale. I've played like last time I played maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I played a game in the morning, lost, went downstairs, lost against a garbage player, went downstairs, and I was just mad the entire day.
So you threw your phone like as hard as you can against something?
Yeah, I just wouldn't talk to my parents. They're like, "Why are you so mad?" I'm like, "I can't play the game no more." And I was like, they're like, "All right, whatever." And then I play Fortnite occasionally with my friends, but nothing really.
Oh, so you're more of a casual gamer then?
Yeah, I used to be 12 hours a day grinding nonstop, and now it's more focus on my agency and clients and stuff.
Well, that makes perfect sense. But I mean, I'm surprised you still, because I love video games. As sad as that may sound, I literally just got my Super Nintendo to work today, and I am pumped beyond belief that it actually still works. I found it in my parents' attic, and I'm really shocked it still works. But I guess with that said, is there something you do enjoy outside of the gaming world? Like, is there some kind of hobby you have other than your agency and stuff?
I play rugby. I
Nice.
used to play soccer as well. I quit that because I played for 12 years, and then I moved from the United Kingdom to Canada. That's why I don't have an accent. So I quit like during the move, and then I came back and I played for a few years, and then I stopped for a year, and I came back last year, and we just lost like just 1 win, I think 2 wins, and I just gave up. That's it. And then I realized that, every kid has the dream of being, a professional athlete and doing all that. And then when I was growing up, I was just like, yeah, this is not happening. So I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah, there's just a lot of competition.
Yeah, there is.
So you got to see, I guess, streamers and gamers in general grow over time. You said you were established in 2014. You said, like, you started your company. Yeah. So you had
not my company. My company, 3 months ago. My own brand in 2014.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. But I'm assuming you got to see how streamers and gamers got to grow over time. I mean, what do you contribute to their success? Like streamers, in one question, I guess, and how do you contribute to the success of esports gamers?
That was a hard question.
Yeah, just kind of like, what do you see them doing that you would kind of recommend others?
I mean, always clickbait. I think that's.
So give us like an idea of what is good clickbait. Like, what would you suggest?
All right. I wouldn't say clickbait like, misleading, like, you put a girl's breast on the screen and say, look, and then the video is you playing a mobile game or something. Like, maybe, I don't know, example for, Fortnite, like a brighty flash thumbnail. I don't know an example of a title, but there's something I can think of, that would attract.
Right, there's been that trend of Fortnite clickbait with that volcano eruption, right? There was a lot of
so say if I wanted to get someone to check out my YouTube video and I put a picture of Jimmy Neutron playing and be like, Jimmy Neutron's playing Fortnite, and I use Jemshi because he looks just like him. I mean, is that clickbait enough? Like, would that work?
If Jimmy Neutron is trending at the time, then why not, man?
Right, so you're just saying riding trends, and so you're just saying don't mislead too much, but clickbait and just making your videos seem interesting, right? You don't want to you want to stand out is what you're kind of.
But the thing with clickbait, I would suggest that to someone that's more in it for the views and the money rather than actually growing a loyal fan base, because they're just going to watch that video. They're not going to most likely not return to your channel.
Yeah.
They're just going to see it because of that title. So if you're more into like, getting a loyal fan base and getting, people that actually enjoy your content, is probably most like just focusing on the content. And I think the growth will come with that. I
got you. So with you managing an esports group, you have a couple clients, you said you have 14. What do they usually use when they perform at such a high level? Like, what kind of gear for the most part? Do they stick to a specific type, or do they use a different array of type?
Of like products, you mean?
Yeah, like like Razer or
They have what, like, the bigger ones definitely have, you know, DXR, Racer Chair, you know, blue snowball, blue microphone, whatever, and you know they have Razer keyboards and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I've seen, like myself, I had 93,000 subscribers, and I edited on my phone. I recorded on my phone. I used my phone, like what I'm using right now, to record, and that's all I did.
That's actually really impressive.
I've never had a setup, no computer. I have my laptop right now, which is my first ever one ever since, and I don't do anything with content creation anymore.
So with that, I mean, you using your phone only, what are the pros and cons to that? I mean, you have to kind of run into a few, I would assume.
Obviously, face cam, but there was one time where I used one of my parents' laptop and I recorded my face cam on the iPad and then recorded Blue Snowball through my laptop and then had to transfer it all onto YouTube and then download it from my phone to edit on my phone. So it's just a long process. But other than that, I rather edit on my phone all day than on the computer. I've tried on the computer, and man, I just don't like it.
So you're just kind of saying it doesn't really matter what product you're using as long as you're using what you have to the full extent, right?
Yeah, that of course. And as long as you're making your videos the best you can in your like own ability, then I think it should be fine, whatever you use.
All right. Well, so on the YouTube subject in general, you said that you grew overnight, and what would you contribute your continuous success after that point in time when you woke up and you're like, holy crap, you know, I have so many more followers than I did the other day. What did you do to continue that success?
I clickbait.
Just the entire time. But I mean, you have to have good content at least to keep some viewers. I mean, I would
like you said, you can't clickbait, and then if they don't stick around, so you had other things beyond clickbait.
Yeah.
That's hard, but I don't know. I woke up on, I know it was September 2016 at 2,000 subscribers, and a kid in my school found out that I had a YouTube channel. So I was walking down the hallway, prestige. You know, I didn't like it. I was doing my final French exam, and a kid puts on my video on the screen classroom, and I just lost it. I was so mad. And then that video, the next day I checked it and it had over 1 million views. I don't know. It was just weird.
Give me the name of that individual because he is good luck. I want him to put everything of mine on social media, and I need to do it now.
Yeah, I'll send him your email.
No, but that's insane. You said that he just showed it in, like, is this French class you said?
Yeah, it was a French exam actually, and he just put on this video, and I wasn't expecting it, and then I had this weird feeling, and everyone's, Kieran, look at the screen, and I was just all red, you know, I was mad with everyone, everyone's just laughing, and then some people would come up to me and ask, you know, how much money do you make, and all those type of questions that everyone wants to know, and things like that, and they just walked around, and I was known as that kid that made YouTube videos for the rest of the year.
So with that success, I mean, you kind of started out with nothing, and then all of a sudden you had a ton of people surrounding you. I mean, what's that like? Because obviously we're nobodies right now, and that's fine with us. Obviously, eventually we want to grow, but like
everyone starts somewhere.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are starting off with a great thing. You guys have great. You guys are good charisma. You guys are interesting people. You guys have a great idea going on and stuff like that.
Man, you're too flattering. I need to have you back on the podcast more often, boost my morale a little bit. So,
So to answer your question, I forgot what it was, but I think it was something about
how amazing we are.
Yeah.
No, just what's it like with all that attention that you were getting?
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, but it was to the point. At first, I was like, "Hey, it's pretty cool. You know, people know who I am." And then I was just like, it just kind of get annoying over time. I'd walk to school, people would just say my name constantly because everyone knew now, and I was just like, I don't like it anymore. And I think that's a part of why I was demotivated at the end. And I hadn't really had too much like real life fan experience because I didn't put my face on it as much. But there was one fan that got my phone number from a school friend, and he called me, and you know he's freaking out. So it was kind of like overwhelming, and it was like all right. And I was just like, I just got over it. It was just like, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I guess it was just unexpected at first, so you weren't really prepared.
Yeah.
In
and
any
it was
way.
just like, are you Prestige on the phone? I was like, oh no.
See, and that's the thing. Like, once the anonymity is gone, I mean, it kind of would demotivate me as well. I mean, that's why I still go by a Pescador instead of my real name. I mean, it's just the fact that, like, I have friends, but I think that if they knew and got a hold of it...
I didn't say you didn't have friends. No one said that.
Well, when someone has to say that they have friends, that truly means they don't have any friends. No, but no, but I think that if the same situation happened to me, I would actually probably quit doing it as well. But I mean, there's some people that really enjoy that aspect. I mean, I'm sure you had some people that came up to you and were like, dude, please use me in the next video.
All the time. All the time. Kids, I would live stream on my phone, obviously, from the app YouTube Gaming. And I had like 5,000 concurrent viewers at the time when my channel was going at it.
Yeah.
So my phone was already lagging with all the comments and stuff. And I was trying to play a game. And all these kids from my school saw my channel streaming, started spamming, calling me, messaging me on,
Oh, no.
So stream sniping you, technically?
Yeah, it was, and it just crashed it. And then they were messaging me, how people just, can you help my channel out? And I'm like, man, I'm trying to do my own thing. Like, I'm no different. I'm the kid that you knew that didn't make YouTube videos. Like, just treat me the same way you did before, man. I'd rather that than you try to be all, hey, help me out type thing.
Yeah, but now you do. Isn't that Elusive Agency? You're helping out streamers and streamers, YouTubers.
Yeah, I like to help out content or streamers, whatever you want to call you guys, whatever, gamers. I don't know. It was time for me to give back because I like to see people succeed. When you have that feeling when you succeed yourself, you get that type of good feeling. I like that when I see other people succeed. So that
you help them succeed.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly why we did what we did with the Rad Comrades. I mean, we started streaming and we realized that, man, it's like, at first I thought it was going to be super easy. I'm like, dude, I'm a little bit charismatic. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm not the most interesting. I can't play the game extremely well, but I mean, I'm somewhat interesting. So I can do this, And then I jump into Twitch and I'm just like, dang, a month in and I get like one or two people that like come in, say hello for a little bit and then leave. And it's just so demoralizing. But I think that's
hard
what
to stand out.
Yeah. And that's why we started the Rad Comrades, and we kind of just went from there. And here we are doing a podcast. I mean, it's nice because the reason why we did this is to kind of give streamers an idea of how to, or even people that are trying to do it and make it in esports or even just enjoy games in general. We want to kind of give them a platform to kind of our template to kind of go off of. Like, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea what to do when I was starting out. Like, I had no idea that follow for follow was like, doesn't really help in a sense if you're a streamer because they follow you, they don't show back up. But I had no idea. I was trying everything I possibly could. I tried to promote on. I never had a Twitter. I got a Twitter just specifically for that reason. And then I tried to promote myself. And eventually, I mean, stuff started going and things like that. But then that's why we started this to kind of really push. But you did it on a different level, man. Like, you're on a whole new level. Like,
man, it's only 80,000. There's people out here with millions.
Yeah, but still, it's impressive. That's an impressive number.
I know, and that's what sucks, because some people would come up to me, streaming and doing YouTube videos is kind of hard, and they don't realize that. They're just like, oh, you make videos, you get money for free. It's a lot of work and editing that goes into it that they don't understand. That's probably the biggest pet peeve that I have with people not knowing. Like, it's like me going into a girl and be like, hey, makeup is so easy to do or something. It just doesn't make sense because I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's a good analogy.
It's a really good analogy. But
so it's just like that,
No, but is there anything that you would say? I'm sorry for interrupting, my man. I really am.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good.
No, I just, by saying that you don't know really anything, I mean, there's always room for improvement. where did you go to learn what you did? Like
all experiences. I just went for every opportunity I saw. When to improve, I just started from the beginning. I offered free help and everything, but now I'm able to do it, for an income as my job. But at the beginning, I would just join smaller organizations that weren't, big. They were just a bunch of friends trying to make it.
Yeah.
Just like I was. And then I learned from there, you have to build a relationship with people. And then I joined a bigger organization.
So you're saying networking is key?
Oh, definitely. And then I joined a UK organization called London Esports, and I learned so much from that with like registering and sponsorship decks, and you have to be professional. And I didn't know all of this. I just thought you messaged them and said, "Hey, can you sponsor my team?" at first. But then it's a whole process of you have to make a business plan and doing all these like different type of things, and it's just crazy. And then from there, I've just tried to learn, and I'm still learning. I'm not perfect in any way. I'm trying to keep pursuing my dream, I guess, in doing this.
So what is your end goal? Like,
I have no idea. I just
sky's the limit.
Yeah. I just like what I'm doing right now, and hopefully I get a new idea coming like in the next few years. Oh, I want to do this. Maybe I'll bring this brand to somewhere and make a esports team out of it, or something along those lines. But I want to keep it to doing what I'm doing now, and hopefully I'll see where it brings me, I guess. Is there
something that you're going to push for in the future? Something that you could discuss? Like, is there any different, like, are you planning to, you have 14 clients yourself is what I'm saying. So your agency, it's tough to balance 14 different people yourself. I mean, are you planning to expand?
I'm slowing down on it. Oh yeah. I'm trying to expand definitely, but I'm still learning. I'm not a perfect person, so if I go and hire, let's say, a legal advisor to read over contracts, or a marketing person, or someone like that, I'm just gonna, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to pay them, so I'm just learning the way through. And once I start learning and knowing how to do other things,
man, that's life. I mean, life's trial and error. So I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. It's sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm doing what I want to do for a living. Like, I'm like, it's weird because like I just think to myself, I don't have to go to work 9 to 5. I work maybe 2 hours every 3 days, and I'm not saying I don't want to spread out how much I'm making, but it's enough to support myself and probably my parents. So I don't know, like. I'm doing fine. I'm great. I just want to help out others. Man.
So I know people in general, they would love to be at the status that you are. I mean, maybe they want to not have to go to work, not have to do that 9 to 5 grind. What would you really chalk up to your success? Like, what would you tell them they need to do in order to get where you got, or where you are right now?
I mean, it's so cliche, and when YouTuber says it, but just putting in the work, like really just fully going at it, because people say they go at it, but they truly don't. Because I ask them questions like, do you upload every day? They say no, 3-4 times a week. I'm like, why can't you upload 3-4 times a week? I don't know, I don't feel like it. Like, they're not striving to the best they can. So like working hard, unique. I think branding is super important.
Yeah.
So branding,
right, your agency helps with that, right? You said that. I know that I've looked at what you guys kind of offer. You kind of offer like rebranding, kind of skinning up a lot of the, banners and stuff across social media that give yourself a unique look and brand.
Yeah, and I think networking with other streamers as well, not just doing the follow for follow thing, but actually like building relationships with other streamers, collabing, actually making videos with them. Not that just, spamming DMs saying, go follow my Twitch, where they're never going to watch a video. Like, also network with people that have the same interests as you. So, if you play the same game, you have the same kind of personality, or just help each other out, I think that's really key.
Yeah, to share advice, I guess. Also, that's kind of a lot of the things that we kind of try to promote with the Rad Comrades. Is just not only just supporting and promoting each other, but just like sharing advice that you guys can give to each other.
Because I think a lot of people have this misconception of that. Oh man, I need to shove everyone out of the way, and I need to get there. But actually, it's the exact opposite. You should probably pull people. Well, you should not probably. You should pull people up with you. It's something of this type of atmosphere, the gaming world in general. Like, no one really gets there by themselves. I mean, they've always kind of helped each other out, and that's what people, I think, really should take away from that.
Well, I guess it's also that gaming in itself is a very competitive thing. Yeah. So I guess gamers are competitive, so they kind of start taking that outside.
Yeah, like I did most of mine like independent, but I did collabs few here and there. Like my first ever one was with a YouTuber he luckily had I think 800,000 at the time, so it gave me that extra boost because I supplied him with a Clash Royale gameplay. So he gave me a shout out for that. So that's something that could definitely help out. And
how did you go about that collab? And like, what made you? Did you reach out to him, vice versa,
he would never he didn't know who I was. I tweeted at him. He was like, "I'm looking for a good Clash Royale player because I want to start uploading it." And I gave him. I should just try it out. I tried to message him, and I ended up working out. So I think that gave me a booster. And then I did a few collabs with people with like 30,000, the same range as me at the time. And then that's pretty much it. So I think, you were right with, people, you should help each other to become successful.
Right. And you said also earlier that, you're always looking for opportunities. Like you aren't sitting there waiting for someone to reach out to you. You're the one looking around, seeing who's open to being, collabed with.
Yeah. Cause there's nothing wrong with just reaching out to people and asking them, hey man, like, is there something we can work on or do something together, just rather than just sitting there and waiting for people to come to you, which is probably never going to happen because your name's not out there. So why won't you put your name out there for other people, Yeah. So that's something I've done myself, and I've gotten annoying at doing it once because I was just really hungry. So I was just like, hey, let's work, let's do this, let's do that. And then I knew I was annoying to them, but I did what I did.
Well, eventually it paid off, though. I mean, here you are.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you can think of that was a huge obstacle for you at that time, and how did you overcome that?
Definitely school, because everyone says this, but at first it was the start of school in September. So I had 2,000, so I was just focusing on school. I had, decent grades, whatever. And then I blew up, and then I daily uploaded and grinded it, and my grades just went downhill, and I just had to just bring them back up because my parents were like, YouTube is never going to be there for your entire life. You don't know if it's stable yet. Education is first, whatever every parent says. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. School and probably just editing on my phone. It was pretty hard. It took a couple hours every day because my phone would blow up because the RAM wasn't, good enough to download, record, and do all these type of things on it.
Man, right, and you're getting spammed with calls.
I don't even know how you did it, man. My phone, it's like 5 years old. No, I mean, I got a new one as of recently, but my phone would die like halfway through the day. I don't even know how you even were able to edit and handle your basic day-to-day functions on that phone, man.
Yeah, it was just one phone. Like I should have, probably invested in just a gaming phone just for videos and editing, but I never did that, and it worked fine for me. And I had it from 2016 up to last month, and I got a new phone. So it's been working for the entire time. Yeah.
So going back to esports for a moment, you said that you had a few individuals that played specific games. Like, are you focusing strictly on mobile? Or are you focusing on every spectrum?
I'm more any spectrum, and I'm more focused on the content they produce. Like for example, one of the client I have, it does Red Dead Redemption, whatever. I don't play it, but I did some research in it, watched some other YouTubers that do videos like him, and then compared it. Is this guy above what they're doing? And if he is, then I just research more. I watch it and I say, see, if I like this game, I'd probably watch him. So then I take him, contact him and whatever. So
yeah. So
content personality. Yeah, that's definitely it.
Content personality. So you do you go more towards the humorous kind of streamers, the ones that are educational, the ones that are actually really good at the game?
It depends, but right now it's say the humorous and the being good at the game. Like education, like if I find someone that's dope at doing what he does, then why not? But I haven't found anyone like that yet, so yeah.
So is that where you spend a lot of your time? Is that you're also just kind of scouting out for new clients, right? So I know you said that you don't work as many hours, but I guess you could say is that the difference between work and play is that you don't. You kind of blur the lines a lot. Like you can watch streamers and you're also looking for clients at the same time, right?
Yeah, like I could be watching a Twitch stream and then they mention someone's name or something. I search him up and, next thing you know, I'm talking to this guy for the next 3 hours and that's it. And then I got a new client type thing. So it all depends. And I don't see it as work because it's something I enjoy doing. I'm watching someone's video and contacting them after the video. If I like it, I don't consider that work at all. So
no, I would understand that.
Right, that's everyone's dream job. Is work is fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. I'm watching YouTube videos, Twitch streams for doing what I do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Have
you ever had some kind of embarrassing moment while pitching some ideas to streamers or something, or just?
I've been rejected a lot due to my age.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
17.
17? Oh. And dang, okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be a lot impressive that, a lot of people take a couple of years to kind of figure out where they want to be, and it's kind of impressive that you've kind of figured that out and you've done something with it. Like, it's one thing to just, decide what you want to do, but the fact that you've kind of followed through with that and actually taking it seriously is what I would think that'd be very impressive. And the fact that you've got clients shows that, you can do what you're offering.
That's what blows my mind is if you look at the NHL or NFL or something like that, there's these 19-year-old prospects and you're just like, dude, I'm 28. I look at it and I'm like, shit, I'm old. Like these guys are making millions or, thousands of dollars, whatever it may be. And you're like, how did I not do that when I was that age? How was I not that motivated?
Yeah, that's probably out of all of this, it's probably the biggest obstacle actually, because my age, people, ask me, how old are you, blah, blah, blah. And then I just say my age and it's just either, hey man, I respect you for, doing something with your life instead of just sitting and doing nothing with it. So some people, respect what I'm doing, but some people are just like, you're immature, you don't know what you're doing, and they're just like, hey man, I don't want to work with you because you're underage. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of that's also kind of like the people that kind of have that mindset might also not be the people that you want to kind of work with in the general. Like, even if age wasn't a problem, if they have the mindset where they're kind of absolute, where it's like, oh, I can't do that, they're not open-minded enough to try new things.
I totally understand where they're coming from. If they don't want to work with someone younger than them because, whatever reason it is, then I don't say, oh, I can do this because I'm, I just say, all right, man, I respect your decision. Have a nice day. It's just, that's it.
Then you're professional about it.
Yeah. Have you ever put that professionalism aside one time and be like, all right, F you.
Yeah, I have. And that's probably one thing I regret is sometimes I do lose it. And I just, I become that. Sometimes I try to remain professional as I can for my age.
Yeah.
Just, do just to remain professional. And then sometimes my inner 17-year-old comes out just like, hey man, fuck you, I don't like you, I don't like this, I don't like that. And it's just like, I just got to relax sometimes. So I just put stuff away and just call it a day, and that's it.
I got you, my man. Have you ever completely disintegrated someone, obliterated someone on social media?
Not publicly, but in my messages, if I scroll down a few years ago, yes, you can see some really nasty things that I've said. And
right, so it sounds like that's kind of more in the past now.
Yeah, it's more in the past, but nothing recently because I don't want to ruin anything reputation wise for myself or my company or
Right,
whatever
because
you
you've
wanna call it.
started 2-3 months ago, so you're kind of
Yeah, so now I've just really trying to focus like, all right, if someone's trying to piss me off or something, then I'm not responding to it. There's no point to ruin something just for a little guy that doesn't agree with something I say to them or something.
right,
know?
because you're pretty knowledgeable, and that's one of the things I kind of wanted to ask about is that you know a lot about sponsorships, and you said there's a lot more that goes in than just uploading videos and just getting a sponsorship. So kind of, would you want to elaborate a little bit more, just kind of for people who aren't as familiar?
Yeah, so basically, like for me, I don't know if it's different for everyone, but what goes down with me is with my clients, sponsorship reach out, send an email about, what they do and what they're trying to do with my clients. And then I respond back with, can you tell me a little bit more? Do you have a business reference or a portfolio or something I can take a look at? I do some research, it may take 1 or 2 days, might take an hour, depending if I know the company well. And then after that, I contact my clients and just say, look, they're trying to offer you this. Are you interested to do it? If it's no, then I say, I'm sorry, it's something we're not looking for, and that's it. And then if it's yes, then there's, contracts involved. There's obviously I don't sign them. It's my parents because I'm not of age. But I do. Let's say the talk.
So your parents are supporting a lot of this business venture, right?
I hope they're not watching this, but at first, no, absolutely not. They were like, yeah, YouTube, you're making money.
I think it's just that generation, because my parents were the same way. Giving them a rundown of things like, I want to try streaming. They're like, why? Like, they didn't get it, and unfortunately it takes you to like show them like, look, I'm actually doing something with it for them to get on board.
And I would say that's also kind of like a benefit of your age is that, you've kind of grown up with gaming around you so that you're more accepting and kind of understanding of that,
Yeah, so like one of the conversations we had was I was like, introducing this thing saying, okay, I'm getting my first payment from this company, blah, 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 but we need to register the company to make it legal and whatever. So my parents were like, all right, how do you know the money's real? Then they were like, hey, we know more about the business side than you do. So yeah, you're not doing that. And I'm like, all right, fine. And then I would just keep asking them like, hey, come on, just like, let me do my thing. And I show you I can do something with this. And then they just said, all right, you know what? So we invested in money into, business email domains, stuff like that. And hopefully I can turn it into something and prove to my parents wrong,
Sounds like you're doing that already. But yeah, kind of going back to getting the sponsorship. So you said that after they've agreed to get a sponsor, you said that there's kind of legal things involved, contracts and...
Yeah, so after the contracts, I check them out and make sure I look at my clients' videos and make sure would his or her audience enjoy this, whatever it's going to sponsor, Like for example, if my gaming client would promote, let's say, I don't know, a clothing line, maybe, but depending. But if it was more like an editing software or, a live stream app, like I said, I'm working on right now or whatever it is, then there's things I consider. And there's also, making sure they're happy with what I'm proposing to them. Like maybe they don't want to promote. That's something they don't want. But if they want it, then, hey man, I'm all for it. And then there's a lot of talking, negotiations with like prices and like all of that stuff. And, I have to bring up the prices as much as I can to satisfy my client. And then they bring it down because they can't afford it. And it's just it's like a lot of talking and then
a lot of negotiation.
Yeah. That's.
So you being so young in general, and I hate to keep on bringing this back up, but what's it like working with like a corporate structure, like actual company that's like, hey,
so obviously I tell them like, hey, like I usually didn't tell anyone about my age. I just said, I just try to act as professional as possible over emails, but once they called me, it's game over. But,
yeah, I gotcha.
But I would hide my age and say, hey, like, I'm not telling you my age, blah, blah, blah. And then I was just like, you know what? There's no point of hiding anymore. Like, if you don't want to work with me because of my age, then fine, like, just go away and just like go do whatever you want to do. Like, I know what I'm capable of doing, so I'm just going to contact you, and then I let them know my age. And then if they want to work with me, some of them, I don't know what the ratio is, but some of them are like, hey, you're doing something, like I said before, we'll work with you. We'll work with your clients. Some are just like, nah, you're
right. Some see it as a perk because they're just like, oh, he gets gaming. Like, it'd be like if, it's like different if somebody, a lot older, like 50 and plus, was like, hey, I want to reach out to you and, help you with your, gaming channel. Would you be like, I don't think you get it. Like, like, do you understand what these games are in the environment and community around them? So,
yeah. So that's something. And then I just went off track. And then I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's all right. Jemshi forgets all the time.
What?
You should hear us do the intro and outros. It's awful. He's like, and I'm Jemshi. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot where I was going from there. I kind of blew it on that part. So
no, we're just kind of going over you were talking about the negotiation with the sponsorships and stuff. But I think that you were kind of wrapping up on that.
Yeah. And then other than that, once the contract is signed, it's finalized, and, that's pretty much it. They make the video. We send the video to the company to make sure it's verified, and, it has all the requirements in there before I get screwed over by some, I don't know, company, want to sue me or something. And then I just make sure that everything in the contract is in the video, and everyone's happy, both parties and myself included, and then that's it.
Right. So I guess you're kind of becoming a legal expert as well.
Yeah.
Kind of just understanding what to look for. Because a lot of times those contracts are just a lot of flub, and there's a lot of things that you just have to look for.
Even the wording is very, very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really tough to kind of navigate through all that.
Oh yeah, it is. It's hard. Like sometimes I sit there for hours and I search. Like there was like a word a few months ago. It's like the first time I heard it was like harrain or something, and I was like, what? But now I of course know what it means and stuff. But I that's something I need to improve on. Is definitely my grammar and stuff. Learning that type of vocabulary. But it's hard, and I'm gonna learn it eventually. But that's probably the hardest thing with my parents is they look at these contracts. They're like, Jesus, like I don't even understand them, and I'm like, yeah, I know. That's the hardest thing with like coming back to your question about the corporate, like how it is like working with like big people. It's cool because you see the behind the scenes of how things work, but it's also scary of what things can happen and what they say on the contracts. Like, if you don't do this, we sue you. It's like, man, it's like everything's on the line. So it's just like, ugh. And I also have to make sure that, there's nothing hidden in the contracts that won't, screw me over at the end of it. So it's like, there's a lot that goes into it. And I have people, family, friends that help me out with it. So I mean, I can't ask for anything more than that.
Right, and then you also have to kind of convey that contract to your clients too. Like, you can't just read it and have your own interpretation. You need to also convey it, exactly how it is to your clients, so that they understand what they're getting into.
Yes, because if they mess up the contract as well, I mean, you're held responsible too, and that's tough.
Yeah, because with the streaming platform, like I said, they want to do because they're doing a trial week for all my clients right now, which they're getting paid for 1 week, 15 hours. I mean, I can't go into more details than that, but that's pretty much the base of it. 15 hours for a week, they get paid, blah, blah, blah. And then if they bring in viewers, then they get a monthly rate for that, or a salary, which lasts for 12 months. And the problem with that is, like, it looks cool. Oh, 12 months, man, like guaranteed money. Awesome. But like at the same time, it's kind of scary because every single month you have to check up on every single thing. And I have 14 clients, so I have to check on all 14 of them. And it's just
make sure they're meeting all the requirements for each month.
What if one person's like doing it for 3 months? He's like, you know what? Screw it. I don't want to do it. And then he has, let's say, 8 months left to do. What am I supposed to do? The contract can't be done. Like, he has to meet requirements. And then in the contract, it says if he breaks the termination, you owe 3 times the value of how much we give you.
Wow.
And things like that. So that's one of the things I'm trying to consider is it worth putting all 14 into this, or is it just like 3 or 4, screw the money, just 3 or 4 guys. Let's see how it goes, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then I'm screwed.
Well, I guess you can kind of have your own contract as well with your own clients, right?
Oh,
You can
yeah, that's something I do as well. So I do a contract, they have to follow this, and that, while I have people write it for me because my grammar is definitely not good enough to write down.
I can't spell or read or write, so you don't even worry about it, man. I
can vouch for that.
No, yeah, he can. I put Trello notes on. He's like, "Are you kidding me? That's not spelled with 2 R's, idiot." I'm like, well,
So I do a contract with them, and then I in the contract it has all the requirements and saying I'm allowed, my company's allowed to sign for you, but before we do that, every contract is sent to the clients to make sure they can read over as well, and that's pretty much it.
How did you learn to do all these things? I don't even know where to start. You have to go through and it had to take you so much time, so much research to even do this. I mean, where did you even begin?
It was all experience. It was just each organization I was in, I learned a new thing. So one, legal, the legal side, and the other one was recruiting, getting talent. The other one was sponsorships, and all together it formed, and they were all connected type thing. But I've never done research how to build a business. It's just more
right. So,
oh man,
experience.
So it sounds like you kind of, as you were kind of growing through all these, or going through all these, teams and stuff, that you were learning different aspects, and then now you're kind of putting them all together in your own business.
Yeah, and I mean, right now it's working. Maybe in the future there's something wrong that goes down, and I mean, I just have to learn from that. I'll just keep learning, and it's fun while it lasts. So, yeah.
Are you kind of planning to go because you're in school, right? So are you planning to move into a business school, kind of study business? Because you said that's what you were thinking of. Yeah. Is that something you're going to actually follow through with? Or are you going to just kind of take the business and take that route, spend more time on your business, or?
So, right now, I'm off until January 22nd, 21st until my school starts. So I have until then to, organize things before I go back to school. So I'm also not rushing school. I'm not, because you can take up to 7 or 8 classes. I'm only taking 6. And I've made my schedule because Australian time is 12 hours ahead. So I've made sure that I have time during the night to contact my clients.
Right, so you're available.
Yeah, so I'm available and stuff like that. So I think it'll work out. It'll probably be very stressful with, schoolwork, projects, all of this. But I think I'll be able to do it if I put my if I put hard work into it, or whatever I have to do it, I'm going to do it. And if it causes stress, then so be it. It's going to pay off at the end of the day. So yeah,
I got you.
Awesome.
And after that, because I'm in college right now for 3 years, and then I don't know if I want to continue to go to university to do business or go to law school to learn more about contracts and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure what I want to do yet, or I might just finish college and just go full-time business. Maybe that's something that I don't need to do. Right,
because by then you might even have the experience that you would gain in business, university with business.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But like I said, my parents are really most parents at least are school education. So maybe it's something that they will force me to do. I'm not too sure. But
yeah.
I'll see how it goes.
Right. I think a lot of parents kind of say that oh, this is your fallback plan. Go ahead and do your your own business, but if something goes down, here's you want to have that degree to fall back on.
But like I said, I'm doing business, so what is there to fall back on? I don't know. There's this is all or nothing, I guess now. I'm in business to make a business, so I'm trying to make them understand I'm learning these not to go and be a manager at a grocery store. It's for my own own knowledge, just to grow my own, do whatever I want to do, so
right.
So hopefully it works out.
I hope it does too, my man.
Thanks, man.
But that's I there's a lot of stuff we covered in this entire podcast.
Oh yeah,
in
it
general.
went fast, man.
It does. It really does, and I really enjoyed the conversation.
Like,
no, yeah, it was absolutely awesome. And
I appreciate you guys for reaching out to me once again. You know, I'd love to help you guys out with your journey, and
Right, we'd love to stay in contact.
Yeah, because you guys seem like great dudes. You know, you
thank
guys are
you.
really
Appreciate
striving for this.
dude, he's so flattering. I'm telling you, we gotta have him more often.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you know, you guys you guys have good equipment. You guys, you know, good guys. You guys don't, you know, you guys are not discouraging me because of my age. You guys are fine. You're open-minded people. You love video games. Like, I don't know, you guys are pretty perfect people.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah. So I try to help out as much people as I can. So if it's something you guys need or want, you know, branding, whatever you guys need, I'm willing to help you guys out. So.
Oh wow.
Right.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I guess before we end this, do you want to kind of give people your, you know, contact, like social media to follow you, kind of?
All right. Like I said, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like I said, I don't like people who.
We're giving you the opportunity to do that. Yeah.
So if you guys want to follow me, you guys could just check me out and just shoot me a message if you guys need help. So my Twitter is theprestigeyt. Discord, not going to give that out. I don't know why I said that, but that's it. My email is info@elusive-agency.com, and that's pretty much the only way you can reach out to me. Don't really use Instagram or any other thing, so that's pretty much
right. And you also have a Twitter page for Elusive Agency, right?
Oh yeah, Elusive Agency. You guys should go follow that. We're almost 600 followers already in like 3 days, so it's pretty awesome. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. It's just Twitter with you know at Elusive Agency.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on to the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for
this was a blast.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was awesome.
And thanks again to Prestige for joining us on the podcast. You can find him on Twitter at twitter.com/theprestigeyt.
And make sure you stay tuned for our next episode of the podcast. We release a new episode every Friday. And as always, stay rad, comrades.